I want to just ask, building on one thing you said, you shared a story of a gentleman who it was really traumatic for him to receive this proposal, this offer. Could you talk a bit more about how the option being put on the table causes harm?
Yeah.
Because I think some people might say, well, if you don't want it, just say no, right? And then move on. But the reality is,
Yeah.
when you're in a vulnerable situation, and in a way looking for support, affirmation, to probably looking for to be recognized as a human being to some in some ways, even in those interactions, that these proposals have an impact on you. Maybe if you can share a bit about how that plays out.
Absolutely. And I think I'll go back to that term I used earlier of sanctuary trauma. So, what happens here is this is the place that these people are supposed to go to for the help that they are entitled to, right? So they're going there, and, they're in many cases, like in that case that you mentioned, included, this veteran had attempted suicide in the
Hmm.
past. And many of these veterans tell me that one of the biggest contributing factors in it, when they get to that state, whether they're just thinking about it or whether they've attempted it, it is actually how difficult it is to deal with the government, to deal with Veterans Affairs, to get the benefits they're like. I'm not. I wished I was exaggerating, but we've actually had veterans, even in the committee in the House of Commons, tell us that, like, the biggest challenge with my mental health is when I have to pick up the phone and call Veterans Affairs. Like, so that is the sort of the state they're in. Like, they feel like they have nowhere left to turn, right? And they've been driven to that spot by the very institution that's supposed to be there to help them. So that's the vulnerable state that they're in. And then to say, well, look, if you're finding this so difficult to deal with us, we could just offer you this, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds real simple to say, yeah, say no if you don't want it. But the problem is that it, they've been driven into a state where they might already be having thoughts about ending their life, but that's not really what they want to do.
Hmm.
They just want help to live it. And so when it comes to the point where that's the help that's being offered to you, so-called help, um, that puts. I mean, I mentioned the case of the fellow in Newfoundland who, like, it literally sent him in a major spiral, and he couldn't get out of bed for weeks after this happened to him.
Hmm.
Like, that's the kind of situation. I think he had a very successful business. He lost his business as a result of this offer being made to him.
Hmm.
Like, that's the kind of thing this is doing.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just it's not as simple as as a yes or no. It's
Yeah.
it's a veteran in a very vulnerable state because they've been put in that position, after years of fighting with their government. Like,
Yeah.
they go overseas to fight for this country. The
Hmm.
last thing they expect is to have to come back and fight with their own government.